Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Elizabeth Holmes. Could you imagine looking at your bank account and seeing that someone else spent hundreds of dollars of your money on an app for a smoothie business? A 19-year-old from Garner is now facing charges for doing just that. But how he was able to do it may make you think twice about keeping your accounts protected and your passwords up to date. WRAL reporter Shaun Gallagher joins us now. Shaun, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
I think we need to first start with talking about how you even found this story. How did this all start?
Yeah, so we're always looking through anything that's publicly available. On the off chance we get a tip, that's great. But a lot of times we are just digging through what's publicly available. I mean, I'm talking, search warrants. There's court schedules that can give you a lot of info. And then also in Wake County, you can see who was arrested within the last 48 hours. That's where I started with this. And, there are a lot of names in there. And, a lot of the things you tend to see all the time, like there's drug charges and there's all of these other things that just happen all the time. But one caught my eye. There was a 19-year-old who was arrested for accessing computers, which, that's weird. I think I needed to look into that more. And sometimes you're looking for just that little crumb to see if you can find something more. And with this story, I did find something more.
Yeah, let's get into that something more. You reported that this 19-year-old was able to get access to a Smoothie King account belonging to a man in Ohio.
Yeah.
So how did he even do that?
Yeah, so let's go back even farther. 2 years ago, Smoothie King was a part of a data breach. I mean, name a business that hasn't been a part of a data breach, right? So part of that, about 8,000 of their clients had their information exposed. Now, flash forward 2 years, and Garner police believe that this 19-year-old, Zahir Sori, was able to access that information, and he utilized that to make these purchases on behalf of himself through this man who is from Ohio, lives in West Virginia now. He sent 33 smoothies to his home over a 2-year period, totaling nearly $600. So that's just kind of how this has all unraveled, and Garner police made that arrest within the last couple of weeks.
You might not have the answer to this, but did they tell you what kind of smoothies he was really pining for?
No, they didn't tell us that, but it's definitely the cold, hard truth that we're trying to get down to right now.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, Shaun, obviously this is a bigger story about data breaches, right? What was the most shocking thing that you learned from this story and how people even react to a data breach like this that could cause something like this?
Yeah, I think we work in the news. We hear about data breaches all the time. We try to inform the public, but not everyone's going to find out about it, first of all. So this gentleman from West Virginia, when I talked to him, he had no clue that Smoothie King even had a data breach. So that's a problem in and of itself, is that, there needs to be something that's done to make sure people are aware when their data is out there. But second, which might be more concerning, is that only 13% of people update their passwords within 3 months of being notified about a data breach. That is just wild to me, that after 3 months, people know about the data breach and only 13% are changing their passwords. And that's the biggest thing that you can do right away, is update your password. And then there's some other things you can do as well to try to protect yourself, but that's the most basic thing. So, I mean, people are really leaving themselves out there exposed to be victims like this.
Do you think it's just because it might be harder to, take some time out of their day to go and change passwords? I mean, why might that be?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got, dozens of different apps. And, it's sometimes you use one, 5 years ago and then you don't use it again. I mean, this guy in West Virginia, he said he hasn't been to a Smoothie King in over a year. So he kind of even forgot that he had an app about it. So even if he did hear about it, would he have thought, oh, yeah, I used the Smoothie King app to, get my berry smoothie, a year and a half ago. So it can be difficult to do. But I think, one of the things when talking to a cybersecurity expert, not just when there's data breaches, we should constantly be changing our passwords. I mean, every 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, something like that, just to, protect yourself at all costs, because this is happening hundreds, if not thousands of times a year all across the country. I mean, I looked at data in the last 3 to 5 years, forgive me, but like 1 billion people have had their data exposed. So, I mean, if you think this isn't happening to you, likely already has or will very soon.
So updating your passwords, making sure that you're changing them on a regular basis is obviously a good idea. Are there maybe some other things that people can do just to kind of keep an eye on things and make sure that they're not being taken advantage of?
Yeah, well, first things first, when you're talking about changing your passwords, if you hear about the breach and you think that you have an account with it, change your password immediately. That's what cybersecurity experts tell me, because literally hours matter. When I was talking to Kimberly Simon, who's a local cybersecurity expert, she was saying, don't wait months, don't wait weeks, don't wait days, don't wait hours. Literally, as soon as you hear about it, do it, because that time really matters. But on top of that, changing your password is one thing. Add multi-factor authentications. A lot of businesses do that. We do that, which is just this kind of backdoor to help you protect yourself. So if anyone, yourself included, tries to log into something, you get another notification on your phone, your laptop, email, something, just saying someone is trying to log in. Is this you? It seems silly, but that could really, save a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of headaches. And then the last thing that Kimberly suggested to me was turning on your bank notifications, credit cards, bank accounts, anything. So, even me personally, if there is $1 spent from my account, I'm getting a text about it. And, again, it might sound silly. You might get a lot of notifications that you're like, yeah, that was me. I know it was me. But the one time you don't, or the 33 times you don't, you'll be like, hey, this is wrong. Let me figure it out.
Yeah, I wonder how many more smoothies may have been bought.
Yeah.
Had someone not taken a look at their account or noticed, hey, I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I'm not the one ordering a blueberry smoothie every Friday night or something like that.
Yeah, 600 miles away from where I live, too. So yeah.
Exactly. I think the last question I have for you is there anything that you hope people get out of this story? Is there something that you hope people kind of walk away from with this story?
Yeah, well, first of all, I should tell you that Josh did get his money back. That's the big thing. He is very grateful. $600. I mean, that's groceries for a month for a lot of people. But on top of that, he said he feels stupid by all this, that he didn't catch it sooner. It really can happen to anybody, and it has happened to almost everybody. So he shouldn't feel stupid. You shouldn't feel stupid for doing this either. But a big thing when I was talking to Kimberly, and Apple does this now where they give you a suggested strong password, and it makes you feel protected. You're like, I couldn't remember this. How's anybody ever going to crack this? But what she tells me is when these breaches happen and that data is acquired by people on the black market, it does not matter what that password is. It is going to say, Shaun Gallagher, password XYZ. It's going to say that for every single account that's on there, no matter how long it is. So if you think you're good, you're not. If you're listening to this right now, change your password now and set a reminder to change it in 3 months, 6 months, and maybe do a double check. See what kind of apps you have all that info on there. And if you hear anything about a data breach connected to that, go check it out.
All right. Well, Shaun, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. If you've listened to this podcast on WRAL.com or the WRAL News app, you can also find it in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Follow the show so you don't miss an episode.